there is no financial interest in this. First of all, why it is important to differentiate TAS and endophthalmitis? The basic reason is both of them are the important complication of the cataract surgery. Remember, although uncommon, not so much common, but still most important and complication for the cataract surgery. But they have something different. They have different etiology, different requires different treatment, and also have the different prognosis. These three important features are different in both. That's why it is necessary and important to differentiate TAS and endophthalmitis per se. First, I am coming to the endophthalmitis. It is the inflammation of the inner layer of the eye with exudation in the vitreous cavity, and it's usually resulting from the colonization of the microorganism. Means it is an infective in nature and usually of the two type, exogenous and endogenous. Exogenous are the infection which enters the vitreous cavity due to the breakdown of ocular coats, and the endogenous is usually by the hematogenous spread. This is the classification already published in the AIOS CME series, and most commonly used that both exogenous and endogenous. In exogenous, we further classify into post-operative and post-traumatic, and in endogenous, it is focal, anterior or posterior, diffuse anterior posterior, or the panophthalmitis. The post-surgical endophthalmitis can be of three types based upon the duration of them and the organism involved. Usually it is fulminant if it has seen within less than 4 days, and the common organism responsible are the gram-negative bacteria. And acute one, which is usually onset is seen on the 5 to 7 days. It is because of the staph epidermidis. And the chronic endophthalmitis, it's seen late, means after the 4 week of the surgery, and it may be because of the late complication by the bleb related injuries or the problems, or the fungal infection is important along with the Pseudomonas acne. Now coming to the brief introduction of TAS. The term TAS is coined by Munson in 1982, and it is an sterile inflammation. The most important difference between both is the sterility. And although the TAS is most commonly seen after the cataract surgery, but it has been also be reported after the keratoplasty or the posterior segment surgeries too. The common causes are the issues are by which responsible for this TAS is the issue related to cleaning and sterilization, pre-operative, intraoperative medication and solution, and eye drop and ointments. These three are the most common causes, are the things responsible for it. And its prevention protocol, I am not going into the detail of its prevention. It will be covered later on by Dr. Jalpa ma'am. But this is a fishbone analysis published by the Dr. Samina Jamindar. She has noticed what are the different parameters: instrumentation, administrative control, sterilization, surgery parameters, intracameral, cleaning, patient IOL. You can find out each step of the cataract surgery is very important. Even mistake in any of these steps can lead to the poor compliance and the post-operative inflammations, either TAS or endophthalmitis. So this is a very important that not only the solution or things, we have to look into the each and every point of the cataract surgery, which can lead to. Even the surgical technique is also an important in it. Whether you have washed the visco or not, what is the iris touch, everything. Now coming to the simple differential diagnosis are the common points which we can remember to identify with TAS and endo. Most important is the onset. You can go for the onset. TAS is usually seen 1 to 2 days or usually 48 hours. And endophthalmitis is late presentation, means usually seen on 4 to 7 days. Pain is again an important finding in cases of TAS. Pain is mild or absent, but in case of endophthalmitis, patient, since it is an inflammation, patient complain of severe pain. Another thing is discharge. You can find out a purulent discharge in endophthalmitis. However, in TOS it is watery. And one thing you can notice down in this figure too, see the congestion and the lid edema involved. In case of endophthalmitis, there is huge congestion and the lid edema, but in case of TAS, it is very less. And third important point is you can find out the anterior chamber. Here you can find out small fibrins, or occasionally you can find out hypopyon in case of TAS, but endophthalmitis, there is huge hypopyon. These are the important findings: discharge, lid, and hypopyon. Here you can find out discharge. One of the important finding which everyone would like to know what is the difference, that is the corneal edema. It is very important, that's why I put it separate. In cases of TAS, you can find out the corneal edema throughout the limbus. It means in all quadrant, it is from limbus to limbus. But in cases of endophthalmitis, you will find out the segmental corneal edemas are the localized corneal edema, not limbus to limbus. IOP is usually normal to high in case of TAS, but in case of endophthalmitis, it is low to normal. So one thing you can go that find out if IOP is high, then suddenly it is more in favor of TAS as compared to endophthalmitis. And the vitreous. Vitreous is again a finding when you are going to look into the posterior chamber or find out. Usually the vitreous is clear. In case of endophthalmitis, you will find out vitritis and vitreous hemorrhage. And what is the management protocol? You can look into the later on. As far as diagnosis is concerned, rule out the infection and culture in case of TAS. However, endophthalmitis, culture is important. There are the various points like treatment modality. I am not going into the detail. What are the treatment is required for TAS or for the endophthalmitis, but surely it will be discussed on later on. One of the important thing is the take home message. Whenever is there any doubt whether TAS or the endophthalmitis, first notice or make a chart when is the time of onset. Take a clear history by the patient, because patient only can take the give you the clear history. Look into the corneal edema, whether it is limbus to limbus or not. Anterior chamber reaction. Posterior chamber findings are the vitritis, and culture and sensitivity is important. And apart from these, it is also important whether it is TAS or endophthalmitis. Do the audit, monthly audit or whatever the things is there. And nowadays, for a medical legal purpose, it is important to give the notify whatever the condition is there to the CMO office. With this, I am still saying that clinical examination is a learned skill. It not be done in a one day. So do as much as possible to differentiate between both, because clinical examination is key in differentiating. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Deepak Mishra.